All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking real music in real time for a few real people out there, just like you and just like me. So, tragedy hits the music world as Dickie Betts has passed away. Dickie Betts, a legend, really one of the greatest American guitar players. Um, I don't know where he landed on the Rolling Stone Top 200. I know Dwayne Allman typically does really well on that list, but you couldn't have the Allman Brothers without Dickie Betts, Dwayne Allman, Greg Allman. I mean, these guys were just amazing players, absolutely amazing players. And, if you were to go and just listen to classic rock for a few hours, you're supposed to hear music by the Allman Brothers. You're supposed to. Will you? Probably not. Southern rock, but also there's an element of what we call jam band music in there. I'm sure Dickie Betts didn't do that on purpose, but really, as time went on, that music took on its own personality. News of his death was confirmed this afternoon by his family on Instagram, along with a throwback photo of the Ramblin' Man writer. Now, they always reduce everything to one song. In this case, it's good to mention that Dickie Betts probably had the greatest chart success with the Allman Brothers uh, with that song Ramblin' Man, which really cracked the pop charts and did really well for the Allman Brothers. Um, they weren't known for 3 or 4 minute songs that were radio friendly. They were known for just super long, incredible jam songs that went on for quite some time. Again, this music isn't for anyone with a really short attention span. And hence, that's why a lot of the older music doesn't do well in this current generation. Just doesn't keep anyone's attention because nobody wants to listen to a super amazing guitar solo. And so it's just sad. He was born Forrest Richard Betts. He was part of the original Allman Brothers band, was raised right up the road from me in Bradenton, Florida. He left home at 16 and joined the circus to play in a band. After he came back, he and bassist Barry Oakley joined a group that became the Jacksonville based group Second Coming after a jam session in 1969. And what a jam session this is between Betts, Oakley, and Dwayne Allman and his younger brother, Greg. The Allman Brothers Band was formed. Betts and Dwayne shared guitar duties in the original Allman Brothers Band. Over the years, the pioneering jam band helped cultivate the Southern rock genre, influencing acts like Lynyrd Skynyrd and Kid Rock. Eh, they did influence Skynyrd. I don't know how much they influenced Kid Rock. I mean, jam band music influenced a lot of different styles. You have bands like Widespread Panic today that owe their existence to what the Allman Brothers would later become. But of course, they did have that little hit song called Ramblin' Man, and they have so much great music that is no longer on classic rock radio. At the classic rock station I worked at in the 1980s, you couldn't play enough Allman Brothers Band. You couldn't play songs that were too long. You couldn't play songs that were too obscure. Um, we played all of the early material from the 70s and some things that you would never hear on the radio, even on your typical FM rock station. Our audience was very Allman Brothers Band friendly. And when Dickie Betts came out with Rock Bottom, we were all over that. That was just an amazing song. Greg had his solo stuff out there. And when Dickie's album came out, we were definitely all over that. A legend. I don't want to say an underrated guitar player, but definitely forgotten about as time has gone on. And this is going to continue. And because I live in Florida, a quick note, you've got a couple of very strong guitar players down here who were influenced by the work of Dickie Betts and Dwayne Allman. R.J. Howson comes to mind. He's on the West Coast here in Florida, plays gigs all over, and is really a great player. He has played with Dickie Betts. And Damon Fowler, who's another guy who just rips, when he plays. It just is that whole Southern rock, kick you in the gut sound, which is not as popular as it used to be, is alive and well here in the state that gave birth to the Guitar Army and bands like the Allman Brothers, who, I don't know, this stuff it's not coming back. I say this in these videos where we lose a legend. I always say they're not making another Dickie Betts. And in this case, not only was he a great guitarist, but he was a bigger than life personality. Yes, he, struggled with substances, and probably, I don't know if he would still be here if he didn't struggle. But you just, 80 isn't as bad as it could be, the rock and roll lifestyle is not one for long life and longevity. So obviously our thoughts and prayers go out to his family and everybody who's worked with him, and really anyone who's interacted with Dickie Betts. They would tell you that he was a larger than life character. His reported cause of death was cancer and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. This, according to his manager, David Sparrow. Okay, so in case you were wondering, 80 years old, and one of the great guitar players of all time. And you could say that over and over again, and it's not going to offend too many people. People aren't going to argue too much. I did want to point this out. I typically don't feature music when someone passes away, but there are kids out there carrying on the legacy. This is the Allman Betts Band. If you've not heard these guys, they really are trying to keep this music going. What's interesting is Dicky named his son Dwayne. So it's Dwayne Betts. And yeah, I'm getting a little choked up there. So just great music. And it's going away. So go back and listen to those old original Allman Brothers Band albums. Their first album is one of the great albums ever recorded if you're a classic rock fan. And that will rekindle your love for classic rock, because it's just not being played. It's just not. I mean, somebody will do a wall-to-wall tribute today to the Allman Brothers, finally, after how long? But this music influenced so much, and it continues to be very important, but it's oftentimes not being heard on the radio anymore, even on satellite radio, which you have to pay for. So those are my 2 cents. God bless everyone. Pray for the Betts family and everybody involved with just these tough times for them. And I will talk to you soon.